This period of protest has had many reasons why it's happening now. And one of them is to divert attention from what's just happened. It's a diversion. What does a magician want you to do when he's doing a trick? He wants you to look at the hand that's not doing the trick, so you don't see the hand that's doing it. A vast number of people have looked at the world in its extreme expression in the last few months, and they've actually seen, the world is not like I thought it was, and there has been an awakening. But that's only step one. Step two is crossing the road and engaging with the system. But it's not even protest. What is protest? You know, so many protests, they protest and they protest and then they go home, and what changes? Nothing. And nothing will change until we stop acquiescing to the system and stop cooperating with our own enslavement. When that happens, it's game over. And I'll give you an example. It's so potent. Those people out protesting and trying to knock down statues. Well, why not put a plaque on it explaining the good things the person did, if they did any? So we have an historical reference that includes the entirety of what that person did. Yes, he gave money to hospitals. Yes, he gave money to build schools, but he also had slaves and made his money from slavery. So we have history. Where we've come from gives us a fix on where we are. When you remove all knowledge of history, you lose focus and understanding of where you are. For instance, Marxist regimes have cost the lives of 100 million people. Now, if we have that in our history and we know it, we know that ain't a place to go. If you look at Orwell's 1984, he wrote a lot about the need to destroy history, because that allows you to control the perception of the present by controlling the perception of the past. It's very important. You know, this great line about if we don't learn the lessons of history, we are destined to repeat them. What is going to happen at the end of this sequence? See, this period of protest and some cases looting and thuggery has had many reasons why it's happening now. And one of them is to divert attention from what's just happened. The economic system has been devastated. Towards the end of this year, unemployment is going to be beyond belief. We had the GDP of Britain fall by 20% in April. In the crash of 2008, it was 1% in a month. Now it's 20%, and it will go on. Look at what they've targeted most and for longest. Anything that releases the psyche in terms of chilling out, in terms of relaxation, in terms of human discourse, in terms of situations where you can let off steam. So they've targeted the pubs, they've targeted the restaurants, they've targeted sport, they've targeted all these areas. And what they're saying under social distancing is, oh, at some point we'll open the pubs a bit again. But you look at the videos of the pubs preparing for this, it's not the same experience. It's all social distancing, it's all apart. That's not the same experience. They've now got, they've now brought the football back, and what they're doing is destroying the very foundation and fabric of human society as we have known it. And football soccer as they call it in America, is part of that fabric, especially what they call the working class fabric, but more than that these days. And it's a way of letting off steam. It's a way of release. It's a way of letting the cares of the world go while you're supporting your team. So what we now have is professional football clubs in the lower leagues in Britain, supported by a lot of people, but not in individually big numbers, that are on the verge of disappearing because they don't get the television money. They get their survival money overwhelmingly by people through the gate. Social distancing has stopped people going through the gate. Indeed, the season's just been finished. But the Premiership teams that have the big money from television, they're about to just finish the season, I think, in the next few weeks, behind closed doors, as they are in Germany and other countries. They're playing in front of nobody because of social distancing. Now, the new season is supposed to start in mid-August. How long into the winter before there's enough COVID-19 designated other causes? Do you think that the authorities that we've seen at work in the last few months are going to say, yes, we're going to have thousands of people in football stadiums standing next to each other?